you are too, so let's get started. And my Dota did crash. I apologize. Yes. Give me one moment. My Dota crashed. I am loading back into the game right now. Just trying to make some idle banter between games. There is a 2-minute delay. If there is not, I apologize. And I am looking at the setting, and the setting does say it is a 120-second delay. So if I am not, I sincerely apologize, and I really hope that this doesn't have any real effect on how the games end up being played. Yeah, it's possible their game, the in-game... Alright, so now we're in the draft, game 2, and Warlock immediately banned out. This is definitely one of Dotp's best heroes, and if I were playing against them, I would ban it too. So a huge respect ban from Dotp, banning out the Warlock of Congee. Benny just playing it like crazy, and Congee actually taking out the Crystal Maiden that they used very well last game. And like that Warlock just creating so many plays, very impressive and just so good. It makes me want to play the hero. Queen of Pain also banned out. Perhaps just Dotp don't want to use the hero themselves this game and are afraid of playing up against it and don't want to give it to Congee. Congee is a soup. I feel like that's pretty good. Soup? I don't know what it is though. What the soup is, that is. But anyways, back to the draft, which is what matters and what you're here for. Templar Assassin, another strong mid-hero and very good Roshing lineups taken out of the game, and also really restricts your picks, but Invoker still available, and I expect that to be picked up in this first phase. Very unlikely that this hero is ignored. It's just so strong. I don't know if it was wise for Congee to just give it away to Dotp, because Dotp have it if they want it, but maybe Dotp looking for something else, a personal hero that they like a lot. But Invoker, definitely a safe and strong pick right here. Taking a little bit into the reserve time, thinking about it, knowing that this Death Prophet, they're giving away Invoker though. This could be a very interesting mid matchup as Death Prophet, the new Soul Siphon spell, very, very strong. And just this hero is very, very good in the mid game. Her ultimate doing massive amounts of damage. And she's able to take towers and kill heroes very quickly. Although the cooldown on her ultimate is very long, so if you're able to maximize your fighting time while her ultimate is down, then you're in a pretty good position. But with the new Soul Siphon, it does give her a little bit more of a punch during team fights when her ultimate is gone. I expect Congee to pick up Invoker, and there it is. It would be very odd to let that go, as Dotp could play it in the off or safe lane if they wanted to, just deny pick it from Congee, or it'd be banned out this next phase. So, unsurprising. Vengeful Spirit and Spirit Breaker. That's an interesting pick, and very good at pressuring a hero like Death Prophet. So Dotp, Vengeful Spirit, and Gyrocopter still available, and I'm surprised both of those were, I believe, completely ignored in the draft. Both picks and bans last game. Although I guess neither team really highly values them, but there's Dazzle. Synergizes extremely well with Death Prophet. Her ghosts do physical damage, and Weave, very strong, and a very smart AA ban, as that hero would be devastating, shutting down a lot of the effectiveness of Dazzle, and really hurting the Death Prophet ult as well. So very smart ban, just protecting their two picks as of right now. Dotp's draft looking very, very strong and doing exactly what they wanted to last game, which is fight early and fight hard. Although Congee able to pressure a lot more early and maybe prevent Dotp from gaining that momentum they got last game. Broodmother banned out, as Congee actually don't really have very good ways to deal with that hero right now. I guess the Spirit Breaker will probably offlane, maybe. Hard to say. It's a lot like Undying, where it can play support or off, and Congee do aggro dual lanes, so we'll see. At least they did last game, that is. interested to see what comes out of these two teams. Both have a very unique style. I mean, Congee looked like they wanted to turtle up a bit last game, or at least that's how they ended up playing, whether they wanted to or not. But this Warlock, that Warlock just taking fights, and Undying also banned out, another hero that was a pretty big problem for Dotp last game. And with Broodmother gone, I believe both teams looking for another support and offlaner, and now Congee's the one to ban out the Faceless Void. Just a very strong hero and very, very good hero against Invoker, so if Congee don't want it, they probably don't want to give it to Dotp. The way Time Dilation works just shuts down Invoker completely. It's not even that he has so many spells on cooldown at once. I mean, it's partway that, but if he can't invoke for 12 seconds in a fight, then he's basically useless. I mean, all of his spells are just such extremely long cooldown that if he can't invoke, then he's pretty much useless. And Witch Doctor, another extremely popular pick in the 82L, might be kind of rough up against the Death Prophet and Dazzle. Her silence cancels the channel, and the armor from the Dazzle might make it hit a little less hard, but it attacks so fast it'll be doing very formidable damage anyways. So, two of the most popular heroes picked up, and Congee looking very aggressive so far, able to take fights early with the Spirit Breaker, Witch Doctor, and Invoker, but Dotp not very different. Dazzle, Death Prophet, able to fight early since they synergize with each other, and this Death Prophet going to be very hard to kill with a Dazzle sitting behind her and backing her up. Dotp looking for both their other support, offlane, and their carry. Rubik, very easy to steal the Witch Doctor's ult, and also there's a lot of good spells to take from the Invoker. Nether Strike doesn't actually do anything for Rubik, so it's not very good to steal that. It does not bash. It will do damage, but it does not apply the bash, so it's just another nuke for Rubik. But you still have Cask, you still have, like, at least half of Invoker's spells are useful to steal. Tornado, Meatball, Deafening Blast is a very good one, for example. But will very reliably be able to get Death Ward if he is well positioned.
5 seconds remaining.
Both teams looking very strong right now with their drafts, and very aggressive too. Both, I think, right now though, Dotp's slightly weaker late game. Invoker outskills the Death Prophet, and Witch Doctor outskills Rubik, especially if he gets an Axe, and the Spirit Breaker can build some damage items, so Dotp gonna have to be mindful of that. Maybe pick a carry, like a Spectre would get pressured too hard. Maybe something like an Anti-Mage would be a lot harder for Congee to lock down. And actually, a Sniper is going to be the carry of Congee, and that might be a very good play. Able to stay away from this Rubik, able to stay away from this Dazzle, and able to kite the Death Prophet, but Darkseer able to surge forward and pull him back into the fight anyway. I really like this pick, and you know what they say, Wall is the best late game carry. The Sniper I find really interesting, but with Shrapnel they may be able to find some kills early on these very immobile heroes of Dotp, although Darkseer able to give them a little bit of a literal surge forward, so might not be that bad. And Congee actually banning out the Spectre, which I think is a pretty smart ban, able to immediately get on your Sniper and go very late. Draw Ranger taken out, and that would have been an okay pick, but I actually think they're looking for either an offlane or a support. So Congee with the last pick, not quite sure what they're looking for, but a hero such as Vengeful Spirit would be pretty good. The Armor Shred, the swap to catch out these supports and maybe kill this Death Prophet, and even protect their Sniper. That's another thing to think about, good defensive swaps. And perhaps they want something like Oracle still in the pool, able to keep their heroes going and kind of serve a similar purpose to the Dazzle. But if they're looking for offlaners, Clockwork wouldn't be a bad choice here. Able to get in the face of Dotp and lock their heroes down, but may not want to get too close to the Death Prophet. They actually go for Tidehunter, one of my favorite heroes, and there's a very dangerous team fight from Congee, and Dotp also have very good team fight, and they very quickly pick up the Sven. He might... I don't know about this. I like it because it synergizes with Dazzle, right? Like, you have Warcry armor plus the move speed, so it helps Death Prophet, and then they're just really tanky. Like, you have so much armor that it's so hard to bring them down, but he might get kited by this Sniper and this Invoker. It'll be very hard for this Sven to find stuff until he gets his BKB and Blink Dagger. Those, I think those have to be his first 2 items. Otherwise, he's just not going to find anything, but... The Witch Doctor ult, not going to be doing too much thanks to all this bonus armor on the side of Dotp. I like both drafts, but I believe I actually favor Congee this time. Very, very... it's hard to call. It's hard for me to call it. I'm actually going to say it's like a... I actually think it's very, very even. Both teams have their very distinct strengths and weaknesses. I like the support duo of Dotp a lot better. But at the same time, actually, you know what? I like 51-49 in favor of Dotp. I think actually a little more than that, 60-40, because Congee are going to have to snowball. They're going to have to get a ton out of these Ravages. Their Invoker's going to have a really good start, because the Dotp is going to be very hard to kill. They're going to be very tanky with their Sven and Darkseer sitting in the front. Darkseer probably going to go a Guardian Greaves. But, and I think I've been told I'm having issues with my Dota TV audio. So I think Congee have to win their lanes. They have to get ahead, but if they do get ahead, even if maybe 4 or 5k gold lead and 1 or 2 levels ahead, I think they'll dominate this game. Otherwise, Dotp win an even game because their team fight is a little bit better, unless Tidehunter gets perfect Ravages. So this time, the first piano, a little bit of a role swap. She played Disruptor last game and is their captain, playing Darkseer now. Death Prophet on Submaniac on Death Prophet, played Queen of Pain last game. Troya on the Rubik. Fafnir on Dazzle, switching from the Juggernaut, very stark change of pace, and Alpha Omega, who was Omni Knight, playing Sven. And now for Congee, Dubal, who was Undying, playing the Tidehunter, one of my favorite heroes. Benny, playing the Spirit Breaker, another very fun hero to watch. And APC, playing the Invoker. And finally, their captain, Broming, playing the Witch Doctor. And I actually did forget about Frederer. I'm sorry, he's playing Sniper. I actually think Tidehunter has nothing to fear in this lane, and this is going to be a very, very bad lane for Sven. Tidehunter can just Anchor Smash freely. Once he gets a point in Kraken Shell, it's going to be really hard for him. So this is a great Tidehunter lane. I mean, this Dazzle is all physical damage, and this is a very good lane for the Tidehunter. But Darkseer also in a pretty favorable lane, not going to be under that much pressure. He can surge out of the, like, he gets cast, but can surge out of the shrapnel charge. So both these offlaners going to be finding themselves in a pretty good position. Although Darkseer, not much kill potential, but Sven going to be suffering pretty badly against this Tide, who went Orb of Venom and wants to go aggressive, but probably got a little ahead of himself. But the charge comes in, he just not able to get his Fairy Fire off. Very unfortunate. Might have actually made the difference between which team got first blood, but Sven getting first blood, although Spirit Breaker gets a return kill. Although I'd say it still favors Dotp, just because Sven got the experience. But Tide is level 2 now, actually, so I'm not really sure who that favors. A lot more gold going the way of Benny, and this lane going to be very hard for Dotp, I think. Darkseer doing pretty well, and let's open up the last hits and denies. APC looks like he's having a... Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to this. What's going on? Alright, now there, it's fixed. So the Death Prophet and Sven outlast hitting these heroes, and looks like Spirit Breaker trying to interrupt a pull. And actually, that's a good way to de-ward, but Spirit Breaker in a little bit of trouble. I believe Tidehunter got a bounty rune bot lane, and Sven now also level 2. I think he's skilled stats. Very interesting. Oh, there's a lift, and it's on the Spirit Breaker this time. And it looks like the Spirit Breaker will be going down to these right clicks, just too much damage. Tidehunter, very tanky, and actually, as you can see from the right clicks, taking next to no damage. But that momentum swing, and Spirit Breaker might just want to roam around. I think Tidehunter just doesn't need any farm. He just needs the levels, and he's going to find at least some. He's going to get level 3 here, and generally, if your offlaner is level 3 at 3 minutes, you're in a decent spot. And is actually where the first panda is exactly. Just getting her soul ring, so able to vomit out those nasty, nasty ion shells. This is very good. Deny more XP to the Tide, but he's going to go contest and might actually find some farm. It's going to just get some last hits over here, so good play from the Tide, and I actually think Spirit Breaker did rotate, but not able to find the kill on the Death Prophet. 3 heroes going mid, and I can't believe I missed that, but pressuring this Death Prophet, going right back in, not afraid at all. Maybe going to force a rotation. There's a Cask, a Malediction, there's Cold Snap now, and looks like Death Prophet's in trouble, but the Soul Siphon to heal. That's one. Grave. Fantastic rotation from Fafnir, and this is looking bad. She could turn around to go again, and now Death Prophet finding a double kill, barely surviving on 100 hit points, and beautiful rotation from Fafnir securing that, and that's all the momentum she's going to need to basically win this mid lane, and Sven in the top lane, meanwhile, finds a kill on the Tide Hunter. Things are starting to look really bad from Congee, just snowballing out of control. Really good rotation from Dazzle, making sure that Death Prophet survives, and now it looks like Rubik actually smoking up and finding APC. Really good play from Troya. DOPT finding all the kill. DOTP finding all the kills they need and want right now. Huge momentum shift in this game now, but it looks like a bash, and unfortunately no Gush, and Fafnir, nope, first Panda TPing in, does have Surge. She wants to surge him forward though, and she might be in trouble, and everything ends up being okay in the end for them. Fafnir gets walking up top, probably spotted out by the Spirit Breaker. Tide Hunter very tanky, and both heroes afflicted by Anchor Smash. They may not be able to find the kill, but they do have lots of magical burst. Sunstrike comes out, but it does miss. And Charge coming forward. They do find their second kill of the game. Dazzle graves himself instead of the Darkseer, which may have been a bit of a misplay, or perhaps he got hit by the Bash 2 and was unable to find the grave. Invoker level 5, but Death Prophet almost 6. Things looking pretty grim. Just really good play so far from DOTP, doing exactly what they did last game, where they just get kills after kills and find everything they want on the map. Tide Hunter only level 4. Darkseer level 5, so it's gonna Congee once again. They just have to wait to get this Ravage, and they have to find so many kills with this Ravage. Tide Hunter still sitting on a Fairy Fire and a Mango. No points yet in his Gush, so they're not gonna be able to find a kill. Grave cooling down for 19 seconds, but heal is there. And Sven not able to do any damage at all. Looks like we're going a quick earn from the Spirit Breaker. Death Prophet rotation pinged out. Congee gonna back off, and good thing they did, because Death Prophet is level 6, has Exorcism at the ready, and 3 ranks in her Crypt Swarm, actually getting a value point in the Silence, which is probably pretty good, able to find the kills on heroes like Spirit Breaker who could charge away, and preventing something like a defensive Ravage. So pretty good, but usually you'll see them actually forgo the point in Silence and just get it in the Spirit Siphon, but I think in this case, against an Invoker who can invoke Ghost Walk and a Spirit Breaker who can charge away, it is the right play. However, Sniper farming very nicely down here is level 6 and actually choosing to ignore Shrapnel, which I think is a big mistake here, because the Death Prophet and the Sven rely on getting close to your heroes to do anything. And I think with Shrapnel you can prevent blinks, you can prevent them from getting the positioning they need to do that damage. Sven and Sniper tied for last hits, but Invoker a full 10 CS, 15 if you count denies, behind the Death Prophet. And I apologize again if my in-game audio is very poor, and I really do hate plugging myself, but if the audio is not good, you can go to twitch.tv/Neifarious, spelled like it is in-game, to find it there, and I apologize profusely. I'll see what I can do to fix the audio issue.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This Death Prophet has a pretty significant lead over the Invoker, a full level, and max rank Crypt Swarm just hitting so hard. Invoker not able to go up against it, having to invoke 3 Quas just to stay alive. And here's a fight, and Tide Hunter goes down. Sven dedicating his ult, the lift, catching it right at the end there. And it's another kill for Sven, and Tide Hunter still not even level 6. I think this is when he wants to retreat to the jungle. Sven does not have the mana to ult, and I lied, now he does. Arcane Boots on Rubik. Gotta be very careful. The Sven ult still up. With Warcry and Weave, they're just so tanky. Just Sven able to pretty much ignore tower shots. Invoker with an Invis rune now. And Sniper with his first point in Shrapnel. Very good to have picked that up. I think he really needs to kite these heroes on the side of Congee. This Dazzle 0-0 and 4, making plays across the map, just securing safe kills for his team, and that's just the strength of the Dazzle. Tidehunter very close to level 6, and he might finally find it now, but it looks like they want him again. He does find his level 6, but maybe his first Ravage is forced to be a defensive one, and I don't think that's what Congee need. They need to rotate and find these kills, but unfortunately he is forced to Ravage, although it might not be enough. Sven's done cooling down in just a few seconds, but it looks like he really wants to dive the Anchor Smash, but it might not be enough to save him. Stormfist comes out, and the Fade Bolt to find that kill, and this Tide getting punished, and I think it's time for him to rotate out of the lane. Witch Doctor running top, only level 4, but Rubik may pay for this, unless he gets the lift off. Good Grave to save the Rubik, although he is earned up, and it may not be enough. Good Cask, and 2 bashes, no lift. Looks like Sven trying to fight here, but unfortunately they do miss the Sunstrike, but maybe this Urn, charge cooling down in 1 second, but not quite enough mana, and now Death Prophet's here and looking for some revenge, and Sven barely able to survive, gets bottled up by the Death Prophet, or bottled up by himself? Nope, bottled up by the Death Prophet, but is he going to take down here, and barely surviving on 22 hit points. Oh, that's so disappointing. They could have really used that kill. It would have been a huge kill for them, and they do get the return kill on the Rubik, but Tidehunter once again forced to use Ravage defensively that first time, so 80 seconds without it, and I think they need to rotate and find some kills with it. It's very important that they get these Ravages pay off in just huge amounts. Where was that Sunstrike? And this Crypt Swarm plus the Fade Bolt chunking over half of Invoker's health away. He does nearly have his Eul Scepter, so farming decently, but still very behind the Death Prophet. 4 heroes of Dotp going down. Charge on Submaniac, but cancelled. Regen Rune bottled up. Tidehunter now alone up against this Sven. It's harassing him a little bit with Anchor Smash, but the Sven very tanky with his Helm of the Dominator and very good lane sustain. Although Congee ready to go in on him. They don't have a charge though. Sniper does have his ultimate and went for Mask of Madness first, which in this game where he shouldn't have been that much danger because of the nature of Dotp's lineup, where they're very close. They want to be close to you, and Sniper I think is very good against this kind of lineup because it's hard to get close to him. Sven, I think, thanks to his lead, was able to get away with Helm of the Dominator, but might be hard pressed to get some kills. And there goes the Sven. They're feeding the kill to the Sniper. Good play, but risky against the Dazzle lineup. Is that Nether Strike? Yeah, that's gonna do 150 damage, but not much other than that. So they're going to rely on the Sniper to find their kills, and with Death Prophet ult, Dotp finding a quick tower, and the Death Prophet TPing middle. Maybe going to try to find the tower here too. Her ult does still have about 5-6 seconds left of duration. And they may actually find it. Fortification is ready for Congee, but are they going to opt to use it? Ultimately, in the end, they don't need it, but this tower very low, and 4 hit points away from deny range, I believe. However, Congee going to find a tower of their own at the top lane. Unfortunately, Invoker unable to deny that tower, and Death Prophet finding the last hit. Very curious to see who she goes next. We've seen a lot of Aether Lens, but she could just go first item, like, honestly, with this much gold, she could go for first item Octarine Core, and that's terrifying, but she is going the Eul, is very close to it, and usually what you'll see is you'll see either the Euls than the Octarine or an Aether Lens into Octarine. Give them one item, and Aether Lens is rising slowly in popularity. The item is very strong with the Death Prophet, but this build also very, very strong and makes it very good to chase down enemy heroes, especially heroes like this Sniper. Eul's also finished up on the Invoker, but he is a level, or is he the same level as Death Prophet? He is the same level as Death Prophet, but behind a little bit in farm. We're seeing Panda. She's going to be building a mech, which is the right choice. I think they need to get mech a blink on Sven. They really should get a blink on Sven. It'll really help deal with the sniper, and that's going to be really hard. Right now, they have no way to really get close to that sniper. He is max take aim now, so he's going to be attacking from very, very, very far away, and with points and headshot and shrapnel protecting him, especially with a hero like Tide and Spirit Breaker standing between you, the sniper, and your team, going to be really scary. Witch Doctor also level 6. Spirit Breaker charging in. Fortification comes out. Spirit Breaker getting a good charge here. Tidehunter unfortunately silenced, and now Benny caught out of position. Ravage on 3. And this is looking pretty bad for Dotp, but the Death Prophet ult comes out, and the Death Ward, though, killing Fafnir. Unfortunately not able to grave, but they do have the Death Prophet ult, but not able to find even any return kills there, with 3 heroes surviving very narrowly. Oh, Tidehunter does die, but very good fight for him. A 3-man Ravage, and Sniper just able to plunk away at the enemy team. And it's just going to be so... I think the Sniper is going to be very problematic. Invoker's probably on 60 hit points, but good Death Ward, zoning out the Dazzle, unable to help his Death Prophet or his Darkseer in the end, but Darkseer did survive. I believe the heroes that died were Death Prophet and... Actually, who did die? Rubik, Dazzle. Oh, so it was just Rubik and Dazzle, I guess. Still a very good fight for Congee, who really want to start getting a lead, especially their Sniper. If their Sniper pulls ahead and already completed his Yasha, if we look at net worth, Sniper just behind the Death Prophet, Sven with about a 1k lead over him, is, I think, going for S&Y. I imagine that's going to be his build, some move speed, some good beef, the maim to help chase, help prevent him getting kited, but I think then he has to go Blink or BKB. He needs some way to catch up to this Sniper, because as things stand, it's going to be very difficult for them to catch the Sniper out. And Dotp claiming that top tower. It was very low, no fortification, but all T1s on the side of Congee now dead, and only claiming one of their own. Gush stolen from Tide, so a little bit of burst and a bit of a slow for Rubik. Probably looking for Ravage, but that was definitely not the last spell that he stole, or the last spell that he cast. If Rubik can position and find himself a Blink or a Ravage, then that would be huge, but very difficult spell to steal. Benny has an item on the way to him, and it looks like a Ogre Club, possibly going a BKB or a Sage and Yasha of his own. A lot of Spirit Breakers now go Shadow Blade and Silver Edge. First Panda sitting behind the Sven, making sure that he's safe, farming up this enemy jungle, and he's very close to a Blink Dagger if he wants it. He's surged up and ready to go on this Tidehunter. Still only 1 point, but getting hit very, very hard here. Ravage defensively on 4 or 5 heroes, actually, and he might get away, but body blocked by the Witch Doctor. He's throwing the cast to slow him down, but someone's going to be in trouble here. The cast bouncing between the 2 supports, and Sniper hanging out in the back, and Death Prophet might be in trouble, but Dazzle ready to grave her. Looks like Witch Doctor is going to be the sacrifice here, and Congee not able to find a return kill of their own. Ice Wall down, and Invoker looks like he's in trouble. Charge coming out, though. Maybe they save their Invoker, and Rubik will probably get popped by the Assassinate. Now it looks like Spirit Breaker's in trouble, slowed down, and Death Prophet hanging out here, pushing this tower. Shrapnel will try to kite them out. Gush now, and Sunstrike. Grave is still ready, but look just how tanky they are. All this armor. Sniper barely doing any damage at all. Death Prophet has ended. Looks like just a support trade here. The Witch Doctor for the Rubik in the end. Sven, though, did he buy anything after that fight? Yes, he did. He has something on the way. Could it be his Blink Dagger? No, it's an SNY. So he does finish the SNY, and again, I would still really like to see him go a Blink Dagger. And I don't usually like Desolator as an item that much on heroes like Sniper, who are very squishy, but I think this game they need it, or for Witch Doctor or Spirit Breaker might be the better choice to get a Medallion and then eventually a Solar Crest. This way they can take Roche, and this way they can actually do some damage. When those heroes are weaved up plus Warcry, that's, see, Warcry gives 20 armor. Weave over its duration gives about 15 armor. So just so tanky. These heroes so hard to bring down. Sniper gonna be struggling to do some damage, but thankfully his range gives him a bit of an advantage in these fights. He went completely untouched last fight, and his hero is so squishy that if they get the jump on him, he'll die very, very quick, like just instantly, basic. Like I don't think there's any hope for him if someone gets on. There's no hope for him if someone gets on him. This game much closer than last, but a 4K gold lead still for Dotp, and if we look at the XP, it's just about 4K as well. Look at hero levels. Sven with 3 levels ahead of the sniper and 2 levels ahead of his own Death Prophet. He's having a very good game so far. Sniper also going to be going in SNY, which is going to be a good item for him to kite and give him some beef. Mechanism finished on Darkseer now. Death Prophet looks like she's actually going to be going a Octarine Core, but maybe a Bloodstone, although I think the Octarine Core is a lot better these days. Allows your ult to have just so much more uptime and allow you to fight much harder, because I think when the Death Prophet ult is down, they're at a disadvantage, although Tide Ravage is up. Do they have vision? They might not need it. They're going to find this Dazzle all by his lonesome, and he's very quickly going to pop the bash, and now I think Dotp are going to be on the run. Their Death Prophet in trouble. She ults, but it might not be enough. Spirit Breaker's ult is ready. Tidehunter in trouble, but does go down, and it looks like the heroes are going to TP out. It's Sven with a Blink Dagger ready to fight. But maybe this is not the choice. He gets hit by the Deafening Blast, and now the Death Ward committed. Nether Strike, and Sven going to get slowly pinked away despite his damage. He may get the return kill on the Tidehunter, but 2 cores going down on Dotp, and Sniper finding one of those kills, and Invoker finding the other. Actually, that's not true. Invoker finding both kills. 2K gold swing, and things dipping slightly back up in favor of Congee, and they weren't that far behind to begin with. Spirit Breaker charging mid, trying to claim this T1 tower. It's basically free gold right now. Congee gonna back off, make the safe play. Tidehunter still has Ravage, did not need to use it in that fight. Good positioning and a good smoke allowing them to catch out the enemy team. It's like Dazzle going the 1 point Poison Touch build, and it's definitely correct. You want the more points engraved for the range and the cooldown. Invoker finishing up a Blink Dagger now. Definitely looking to get very aggressive with his combos. He does have Yules, so look out for those huge Invoker, Yules, Deafening Blast, Meatball combos. Invoker, Death Prophet, very even in levels, and if we take a look at last hits, Sven, massive lead in last hits, and massive lead in net worth, 3K ahead of the Sniper. The Sniper has yet to die. Sven finished up his Blink Dagger very quickly after an SNY. Tidehunter now just finding farm, everyone on the side finding farm. Tidehunter closing in on his Blink, but caught out at the worst possible time. He may get a good Ravage in the end, but very good Ravage, catching those heroes. Witch Doctor, cast bouncing, and oh, stolen Ravage! Absolutely phenomenal play, and Death Ward comes out, but unfortunately this Witch Doctor just getting chunked away. Dude, Death Ward does next to no damage thanks to all of that health, but Tide was able to find his Blink Dagger in all of that. Sniper, thankfully, not caught in that fight, but huge fight and a lot of plays made by this Rubik. Good smoke gank, and able to... Rubik still has Ravage, and I believe has it for... He will have it one more time if he does not die. And that's the kind of fight that Dotp need, a massive 3K gold swing in favor of them. And phenomenal play from everyone, and this Sven just too tanky. They have no way to tank away at him, and they barely, the Death Ward barely even tickled him just through all of that armor. Now weaved up, his Warcry is ready. He may use it, and they're going up high ground with the Exorcism on. No Ravage. Shrapnel to try to zone them out. Sniper trying to poke away at the enemy heroes. They're just so tanky. Spirit Breaker going in, but I don't know if this is wise. She's taking very little damage. Heals herself up defensively and miss on the meatball, but she may go down in the end anyway. Although Grave is ready, she's low, and now Sven in the back just instantly killing two, and now Death Prophet going to work, killing another hero. Sniper on the run. Sven Blink Dagger cooling down, doing so much damage, and just huge plays from them. Dazzle making sure the Death Prophet does not survive, and once making sure the Death Prophet does survive, and once her ult ends, just healing to full. And now this is going to be a tier 3. This is going to be a lane of racks for them. Unfortunately, without Ravage, I don't think Congee are able to make a defense, and a 4k gold shift in favor of Dotp. Now an 8k gold lead just about for them, and they may look to claim another tower, although I think this will only, thanks to the tier 2 towers still standing bot and there, they may only lose this one lane of racks. Although Roshan's still available, and Sniper now very far behind, going for a Manta style, but just not enough damage, just so much tank. Now Dazzle has rank 2 weave, so 24 armor over the duration, and it's another 20 from Sven. These heroes just incredibly tanky. Ravage is ready, blink on cooldown for 10 seconds, so this could be the play that they need. They have good high ground defense, they have Sniper, they have Witch Doctor, they've got ways to come back into this fight, but it's looking very hard. Sven jumping forward immediately, but a good defensive Deathing Blast, and Rubik using the stolen Ravage from earlier. Tide catching 5 though with his own, and another strike now stolen. This is looking big. Another strike onto, trying to get it on the Invoker, but he heals himself up, and now he's gone. Death Ward comes out, just doing no damage once again, and Sven instantly killing this Witch Doctor. Tide going down, and things are looking grim. This could very well be GG, although no tier 2 still. Oh, GG is called, and very fast game 2 coming out from Dotp. Excellently executed, and good game from both teams. Congee did put up a bit of a fight, but this Sven got too big to fail, so to speak, and crushed them in the end. Once he was able to blink forward on that Sniper, dominating. And Death Prophet also playing well, and Fafnir on the Dazzle, just fantastic rotations, making huge plays for his team, and basically winning the mid game, winning the mid lane for his Death Prophet. Just great. And Rubik, the stolen Ravage, coming into play twice there. Just fantastic play from everyone on Dotp. And I look forward to I hope I can cast for them again in the future. Same goes for Congee. Both teams playing very well, and with some very interesting picks that they made work. And just a good 2 games here. Dotp taking it 2-0. This makes them 3-1 in the 82L, and Congee 0-4. They're going to be looking for some wins next week, and I hope for their sake that they find some. It'll help improve their playoff standing. And I look forward to see how both of these teams continue on in this tournament, and thank you for joining me. Alright, that's all for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you followed me on Twitter. And if you have a game you want me to cast, I am always more than happy to do so. So just let me know, and you can add me on Steam or message me on Twitch. These were 2 very good games, and I'll be casting again maybe tomorrow, but unfortunately there is supposedly a fire drill for me this week, and I don't know what day it is, so whatever game I may cast may get interrupted. I will let you know if that is a possibility. So, thank you again for tuning in. And once again, just to plug myself, follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. So, oh, and also leave me some feedback. It really does. I'm really serious about this, and telling me what you think I did well and what you think I did poorly, I will actually try to improve upon.